Yeah, hello. So today we are gonna see the game of Gukesh versus Nogerbek in round 2 of FIDE World Cup 2025. So Gukesh starts with knight f3, Reti opening. Okay, d5, c4. It's called Reti gambit because here opponent can just take the pawn and it seems free in the opening. e6. Okay, g3, knight f6, bishop g2, d4. Okay, so here we can see that what actually we had been taught you don't need to move the same piece twice in the opening, but here Nogerbek moves his pawn from d5 to d4, and what it does is, the first thing which I can see is this square, which is e5 square, is a bit juicy square for a knight, as well as this e4 square also. And what he had done is he had kind of created a weakness because this pawn is currently in the white's camp, and it might be a great target for white also. Okay, so how Gukesh continues with castles. Okay, knight c6, protecting the pawn. And now what Gukesh has done is, he had created this white colored pawn chain, and his dark square bishop is free to go in this diagonal. Also his bishop, when knight moves, this diagonal will be very much helpful. On the other hand, Nogerbek haven't castled his king yet, haven't developed the bishops yet, and had pushed the pawn. So I guess, I mean, it's a two-way sword in the opening right now. Okay, Nogerbek plays bishop c5, great move, defending the pawn and also developing the bishop. Gukesh plays knight bd2, maybe he wants to go to b3. Castles, knight b3, okay, bishop e7. Now as you can see, two are the defenders of this pawn and two are the attackers. If Gukesh can add one more attacker to this pawn, it will be very difficult, because then it will be a move like e5 to protect the pawn, and then e5 might be a target in future. So h3, e5, okay, e5 is been played, e3 takes, and bishop takes. Okay, so this is the situation where Gukesh's piece are being developed, and Nogerbek light square bishop is to be developed right now. It can't go here. Might be the case bishop e6 or bishop f5 might be playable. Let's see what he plays. Okay, first he goes a5. Okay, Gukesh strikes in center with d4. Takes. Now knight takes, so there's a exchange, and this is the first mistake of the game, because computer is suggesting a move like queen c2, bishop f6 in order to trade the bishop, but then comes rook a d1. So I mean, the knight is been pinned right now in front of queen, and if bishop takes, then rook takes. So yeah, it will be very much weird for Nogerbek to play that position. So Gukesh played queen b3, also great. Now I think rook a d1, yeah, makes sense. Okay, rook e8, bishop drops back. Gukesh doesn't want to exchange his bishop because his bishop have a great scope. Apart from it, he have a great bishop pair also. If the knight moves, let's say, somewhere to another uh, point, that two bishop pair will be a great option. Yeah, queen unpins itself. Okay, now there are many threats because the queen is standing in front of the rook. Okay, queen drops back. Okay, queen c2. Okay, here is the second mistake of the game, and the winning move here is knight g5. I really don't know what's the point behind knight g5 because somebody is playing rook a6 and the computer is suggesting a move like knight g5. So let's see, knight g5, let's say bishop takes, and let's say rook takes. I have to take with the rook, and let's say, I mean knight c5, knight c5 looks okay to me. Then bishop e7. So am I getting a free? No, I'm not getting a free knight because now my bishop is being pinned right now. So rook e3, but then I can save my knight, na? Knight e6, yeah. Bishop a3. So yeah, the basically the point is computer is giving such so much advantages due to the fact of this bishop pair, which is very active on both of these diagonals. Also the rook is well placed, the knight is being pinned. I don't know whether this bishop is in the play or not, and the queen is also standing great, defending each and everything on the board. So yeah, it's not something materialistic in terms, but it's more of a positional advantage. So knight goes there. Okay, bishop e5. Okay, now it's a mistake from Gukesh end. It's f4. Okay, why is it a mistake? Because bishop takes, rook takes, rook takes, and knight f6. No, I mean then too, it's great option na to explore because no, I won't take the knight, but the thing is ke then too I'm not having so much troubles. But the advantage is also still 1.1 in favor of Gukesh, but the drastic advantage has decreased. Okay, bishop drops back. Bishop f2. Okay, not a move one was expecting. Takes. Then bishop b4. Okay, so might be rook e2, then bishop c5. Okay, and he can exchange that bishop pair. Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, okay, here after playing bishop f2, there's a what we can say a chain of moves where black can exchange his bad bishop, dark square bishop, with our great dark square bishop. So yeah, so he takes, plays c6. Okay, it's also a mistake. What Gukesh does? Okay, Gukesh plays the best move, which is knight f5. Now the same thing which we discussed earlier, rook e2 might be a situation where was computer suggesting that move, bishop c5. Yeah, computer was giving this a great move, but okay, no issue. G6 also is also a great move. Okay, what if queen takes? Then I guess this combination works. I'm not so sure. Okay, rook e8 check. I got your point. Yeah, your knight f8 is also possible. Let's say I was looking at this king move. Okay. Yeah, knight f8 को भी rook takes आ रहा है. Okay. Yeah, okay, great tactic. So yeah, so after that queen g7, knight g4. He plays h5. Okay, aggressive. Okay, Gukesh gives check first. Okay, king h7 and knight f2. Bishop c5. Now it's the time to exchange that bishop. Okay, queen c3. Takes. Okay, Nogerbek is happy with that exchange because that dark square bishop wasn't doing much thing, but Gukesh's bishop was great on f2. Okay, c5. Okay, c5. After c5, what Gukesh played is queen c3. After queen c3, knight f6, bishop f3, queen d6. I guess these are the moves where you kind of consolidate and kind of place each and every piece to its proper square and make a harmony between all of your pieces. So it's that, I mean, you can exchange it, takes, and if possible, we can win this pawn in a longer run. But also we need to take one thing into consideration after takes, and if rook is able to capture this file, because rook can't block this file because of this knight, and in order to remove the knight I need to play this move, so it might be something which needs to be calculated properly. So let's say takes, and yeah, knight is the best blocker of any passed pawn. So first the pawn has been blocked. Okay, now can't the rook go to this square? Yeah, okay. So actually that bishop never moved in the entire game, and it sacrificed, I mean it got exchanged with the knight, and now it's the position where we can see Nogerbek has a passed pawn. Gukesh can stop with his bishop by playing bishop d1 at the right time, rook d4. Okay, okay, king marches down. So if we, let's say if rook takes, then yeah, might be the case, yo, queen e3, king e3. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, this happened in the game. Now should I take this pawn, allow this? No, but if I take that pawn, allow this, then I won't be able to capture that pawn, so I need to capture that d2 pawn first. Okay, he protects that b3 pawn, he doesn't allow rook to come onto the b file. Okay, now I guess you need to take that pawn. Yeah, if, yeah, now the rook comes, because you can never go to the square because of this. So what's the plan for Gukesh right now? Okay, first he pushes that a2 pawn to a3 in order to protect that, and if the rook goes after this a3 pawn, so king can easily take this d2 pawn. Okay, oh, this is weird move, because what computer is suggesting a ridiculous move is h4, and I am also a bit in a think tank. Actually, I don't want to take that h4 pawn, because if I am taking that h4 pawn, I am pretty sure this all the three pawns will be traded off with these two pawns. So then to matlab, with the proper play, my opponent need to play properly. But yeah, I mean it's something which Nogerbek misses, and yeah, Mukesh had never intention to capture this d2 pawn immediately. He wants to play this rook e3, because the rook on e5 was not doing that much, because it was not protecting any of the assets of the white camp, nor it was been attacking something. So it's great move. Okay, now you can take that pawn. Yeah, the h4 move arrives. Takes, knight attacks the rook. Be make sure you won't miss any fork. Might be the case you can play this move and then you can anticipate this, so it doesn't feel like playing. Yeah, now you can take that knight, na? No, yeah, knight is been dominated by this bishop, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, and these are some of the last moves which happened. I mean, Gukesh was trying till last in order to get some chances, but it felt like, because of this passed pawn, because of this isolated double pawn chain on a single rank, it is, I mean, not possible to win with proper play from the opponent also. Yeah, it's something like you can't make any progress now. Yeah, because rook will keep on checking you because you have nothing to protect your king from checks. Yeah, that's here. The game ends with an accuracy of 95.2 for Gukesh and 95% for Nogerbek. Both of them had, I would say Gukesh had a lot of, let's say, 2 to 3 practical chances in the entire game in order to gain some advantage or in order to gain a good position from that advantage. But Gukesh didn't convert it, or Gukesh might thought it won't be that much advantageous. So yeah, so it was a great result for Nogerbek for sure, and it was not up to the mark or up to the play for a current world champion Gukesh Domraju. So yeah, signing off. Bye.